Hello, hello. Hey there, YouTube slasher chicks and slasher dudes. My name is Alicia. This is Slasher Chick TV, where we like to talk about growth mindset, negotiation strategies. So you never have to choose between this or that. You can always say yes to this slash that. And the negotiation I had with myself today is that I'm supposed to do a video every day in August, and I'm still in my lazy girl content era right now. I am trying to figure out the path to least resistance, and if there's one thing I'm going to do, it's watch a Dan Co video. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to go with progress over perfection and make myself feel better about consuming this content over creating new content. And I'm just going to react to this Dan Co video as a part of my content so that I can kill two birds with one stone. Now, if you don't know who Dan Co is, let you know. Okay. Hold on. Let me get myself really situated. Now, this video, it says it's 37 minutes. I know I'm gonna have to speed that up. But anyway, let me just go to the channel. Okay. So Dan Co is a content creator, solopreneur, and now slash author. Here on the YouTubes. I don't know if he's in on any other platforms, but his new book is The Art of Focus. He's got, I believe, he might have even having a podcast too. I don't know, but he's got 789,000 subscribers. And let me see. I've never seen Dan Co's Instagram. What's that like? He's got 1 million followers on Instagram. Holy crap. But as you can see, his content is just motivational, I guess you would describe it. I don't know. There are a lot of things in which we are aligned. Speaking of Instagram, if you don't follow me there, name's the same _ slasher tick. So at any rate, what does this say? Go built core. Child, I don't even know what this is. But at any rate, second brain for creators. I've created my own second brain. That's a different video. But at any rate, Dan Co, I'm a fan of his content, a fan of his consistency. I am mostly a fan of the clarity in his brand. It is consistent. Even watching it grow, being able to have seen the evolution of this Dan Co from 2 years ago to this Dan Co of today, I I admire the results, and that's why I want to know the process. Like I want to know the story, and because a lot of the things that Dan talks about are also very aligned with things that I believe, like that thing we saw in another post, like life's a game. Like just learn to play the game, learn the rules.
Life is a game. By the time you enter your 20s, your mind is programmed by your parents, teachers, and society, whether you think it is or not. It's how you survived. You went to school, you got the job, you have the same goals as everyone else. You are an NPC unless you started questioning early. You can keep getting distracted by news, memes, and information that does absolutely nothing for your future, or you can make the decision to forget everything you were told to believe, to launch into the unknown and see what you're capable of. Max out your mind, max out your body, max out your business. Never stop acquiring new skills, traits, and knowledge. Improve yourself to the point of being able to take on interesting challenges. That's why you're bored in the first place. Live in your own little world and ignore everything else that people try to convince you is important. Because the most successful individuals know life is a game. By the time
See what I'm saying? Quality content. The way you make that circular so that when the short starts over, it's just telling the same. Oh my God. This is why I'm a fan. I'm like, so anyway, so with all of that said, Dan Co just put out a new video and I want to watch it, but I need to create content. So I'm just going to consume this content, and it's apropos because it relates to what I'm trying to figure out right now, which is what is the niche? What are we doing here? And this is how I've been working. I'm the niche. I like to talk about the things that interest me, the things that I am learning, whatever growth I'm doing, and
So you think you know Wix, but do you really?
This video is not sponsored by Wix.
First up,
We're going to skip this ad though. I'm sorry, I'm not. Danco, I'm not
Down.
watching your
And
If you're a small creator, I probably do watch your ads, but I think Danco's got this unlocked. Not that I never watch his ads. Anyway, I'm off track. Let's just get started on reacting to this video. Disclaimer, all things about this is a learning opportunity. And we are going to learn from said content, hopefully. And I'm going to up this playback speed too, because as much as I like Danco, he likes to talk slow. Here we go.
the most authentic, profitable, and unique niche is you. I first realized this after years of pain, because the first thing that you come across when you embark on your journey to becoming a free individual is niche down. And just like the social matrix.
Now, yes, that is very much what we're being taught on YouTube. If you're trying to create, is like, oh, niche down, or the riches are in the niches, and all of those things. And I just don't want to do that. That's why the channel is called Slasher Chick, because I am multi-passionate. Niching down, the only thing I can niche down to is multi-passionate.
There is a business matrix. Now, the social matrix, or just the matrix that everyone talks about, is a web of ideas and beliefs that act as anchors for your mind to make sense of the world. The government and culture influence the school system. The school system creates resources for students to learn from. The students don't question what they're taught. The students go on to be parents. The parents teach their children what they know and send them to school. The children make friends and conform further to fit in. The children grow up, get jobs, become teachers, become parents, become politicians, and create the knowledge and resources online and offline that influence culture. The parents, students, and children vote. The cycle continues to create the society we live in. Now, this isn't a bad
I was just going to say,
love or what lies in the unknown.
Just a cycle. That's the point. It's just a cycle, and we're all a part of it.
If we don't question what we learn, we end up a clone like everyone else. Now, the business matrix, in contrast to the social matrix, is just a web of ideas and beliefs that illustrates how businesses are supposed to operate. Think of it as the advice or education you get on how to start a business, usually from people online. Pick a skill, pick a niche, and do the same thing all over again.
Now, I don't know if that's the advice that I usually get, because the way I've identified the advice, and perhaps this is because I work in startups, okay? It's never been pick a skill, pick a niche, and do the same. Well, that's what people are taught. Mine is pick a problem, create a solution, get it to the market and figure out how to do that over again. I've enjoyed being in businesses that do that. The goal is to eventually create my own that does that.
Do work you don't care about for people you don't care about to live a life you don't care about.
Yeah, because I don't want to do this. That's scary. That's freaking scary. The idea of doing work I don't care about for people I don't care about to live a life I don't care about. I don't want to do that. No.
You are a human. You learn by being exposed to beginner level knowledge, then intermediate and advanced. The thing is, who questioned this beginner level knowledge from the start? Are we absolutely sure it is the best way to go about things? Is it the most conducive to results, or does it cause more confusion that makes people quit too early? You decided to start a business because you wanted to escape the mechanical and meaningless lifestyle, not to create a new one where you can just earn a bit more than you did before.
Yes. That's, well, I don't know. I think sometimes people create a business also not just because they want to escape those things, but because they want to see their solutions that they've created out in the world.
Their job. Now, those who learn to break free of this business matrix can do whatever they want, but you can't break free in an instant, because that's just not how things work. First, you learn the rules of the game, and then you kind of create your own rules of the game without breaking the other rules. So you need to play the game that others want for you, like you would in society.
First, you learn the rules of the game, and then you create your own rules without breaking the others. I think you got to kind of break the others to create your own. But
with learning from your parents, but then eventually you reflect and you question, you think, okay, what can I actually do? How can I actually create my own game and get better results than those who came before me? Now, my goal with this video is to give you a complete outline of what your niche is, and that outline will contain pretty much all of your content topics that you'll ever talk about ever throughout the entirety of your brand to create your niche of one. So we're going to go over some philosophical stuff first, which I feel like will help a lot of people in understanding what a niche is and this entire You Are the Niche philosophy. And then we're going to go into how to actually create your niche and have it on paper, what it actually is, so you can use that. And then we'll, of course, bake in common questions like, okay, well, what if people don't find my interests interesting? And how do I start to talk about any interest that I want? So let's dive into it.
Okay, we're going to pause here because I've kind of been doing this using ChatGPT, and I want to pull that up now. And but for what we're going to do now in the meantime is we're going to follow along with Dan's the instructions and see how aligned it is.
When I began my business journey, I started with freelancing. I thought it was the most beginner-friendly option because all I had to do was learn a skill, sell a skill. So I decided to try my hand at freelancing with almost every skill you can think of: video editing, graphic design, SEO, content marketing, Facebook ads, and web design. My pain point was always choosing a niche. I would download free guides and I would endlessly search on Google for the top 100 niches to target. I targeted dentists and gyms and construction companies and pest control and a lot more. But what are the problems with this approach? First is I don't care about these people. I would for years of pain because the first...
I didn't mean to do that. Now, Oh my god. Oh my god. Where was I at? Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now this definitely is interesting because that's one of the things that I struggle with in figuring out what who you want to work with, right? Is like there's some industries or businesses that like I know would they make money? Yes, but I just don't care. I don't even think you add anything of value to the world. So why would I want to participate in it?
Approach to something as important as your life's work. You're starting a business for a reason, and it isn't to just have a new boss. Now, some people argue like, oh, business doesn't have to be your life's work. It can just be a way to make money. It's like, I agree. But if the end goal is to just pursue your life's work after you start a business and generate some cash flow, and you can pursue your life's work just by starting a business in the first place, like what's the dissonance there? It just feels like laziness to me. And like you want the get rich quick option, which probably isn't going to work out as well as you think it is. The second thing is I don't have experience with their business. Most businesses fail because they try to solve a problem they haven't experienced. Remember that. Feel free to come back to me when you ignore this and fail. Third is it prioritizes.
Yeah, I think most businesses fail because they don't actually know how to hire people. And so they fail to be able to replicate themselves with quality talent. Finding the right talent and managing and onboarding them is a skill. It can be learned, it can be developed, but it is not innate in everyone. Okay. It's not something you just hop out and do and then expect your business to be able to succeed.
Finding, not attracting or becoming. You learn a skill for someone else. You search endlessly for people to reach out to and end up spending more time on lead generation than building leverage. So one thing I want you to keep in mind for the remainder of this video is that I'm usually speaking under the lens of building an audience because this is a new traffic mechanism for businesses, building a social.
I feel you. I feel you, Dan. That's why I consume your content because building an audience feels like the first place to start. And that one of the highest skills that you can have is communication and your ability to be able to express thought. That's in a and that's one strong negotiation.
Social media audience, right? Building an audience is just how you build a business. It's always been how you build a business with media and advertising and whatever it may be. Now with social media, where all of the attention is, because it's on the radio and on TV and other things, but most of the attention is on social media. And that is such a blessing for individuals who understand that they can just write content and build an audience and build a business that way. So that's what sparked this whole you are the niche thing, is that many people are operating from 20 to 30-year-old business mindsets and trying to apply that to the modern social media age when they just don't understand social media or how it works.
Now that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. Because I think before, I mean, now certainly you're taught to build an audience that know, likes, and trust you. But before, in the way businesses were shared with audiences and businesses being more brick and mortar and less in the ether, aka the internet, it was kind of like trust, know, and like, right? Its existence provided some trustworthiness, and then you were aware of it because of now its existence. You saw it, and once you engage with it, now you like it. You might tell people about it, but it's not, the awareness isn't the first thing that. Well, the awareness does have to exist there, but you have some innate trust built in by the fact that it's brick and mortar.
So that's what I'm hoping to change here, is making you understand that as one person, you can build an audience and you can start a hyper profitable business without boxing yourself into a specific niche. We'll learn how to do it. It's no wonder people don't stick to building a business. The business ideologies circling the space have dominated for too long. They are shallow and lack regard for human nature, psychology, and fulfillment. And that's just the thing. Things evolve beyond being shallow. There are better ways to start a business now. So we're going to learn how to create our own niche that is profitable, authentic, and something you actually enjoy doing. First, we'll start with a few lessons that will spare you a lot of pain. First is that the endless shiny object syndrome you have with finding a niche is a blatant sign that business hasn't clicked for you yet. You don't understand it. You haven't failed enough. You haven't produced enough. You can make any niche work. That's why it's wise to create your own. The second lesson is to build a product or service.
Okay, that feels like it bears repeating, and I need to hear it again. Okay, the endless shiny object syndrome you have with finding a niche is a blatant sign that your business hasn't clicked for you yet. I know that, Dan. You haven't failed enough. You haven't produced enough. You can make any niche work. That's why it's wise to create your own. And that's the thing. I haven't executed enough. That's what it means. That's what it means. It's kind of like similar to the conversation Charlene was telling me the other day when I was complaining about my analytics not giving me enough data in it. I'm like, I've got all this content. I should have analytics for it. And she's like, girl, I have thousands of videos. You've got hundreds. That's why you don't have data there. I'm like, oh, yeah, duh. All right. Lesson number 2. Save
Click before you get. You don't understand it. You haven't failed enough. You haven't produced enough. You can make any niche work. That's why it's wise to create your own. The second lesson is to build a product or service that you would actually buy, use, and benefit from. There aren't many shortcuts in business, but this is one.
Okay, now that's first things first, because I'm going to name, people always ask me how I find these companies that are just like awesome to work for. And, oh, Alicia, you find jobs that you love. Yeah, because I only get behind products and services that I believe in. And that's my first things first. If I don't want the product or service, I probably can't work for this business because it's not aligned. So that's not really related, but unrelated to this subject.
One of them. When you do that, you become the niche, and you can focus on marketing to your past and current self.
Clearly, we're doing that. I guess I'll hurry up and wait till these ads go through, because since I'm reacting to this Dan Co's content, I guess the least I could do is let his ads play. But Dawn, as you know, I'm trying to continue my video every day in August, and I'm right now in my lazy girl content era, and that I don't want to feel bad about consuming this 37-minute video that I am definitely going to consume. So I'm just going to react to it and make content out of it. But Dan Co is a YouTuber here that I don't know how many YouTube subscribers he has. Oh, I know how many he has. He has 760 something thousand on YouTube. And on Instagram, he has like 1.5 million followers. But he really talks a lot about solopreneur businesses, but mostly, and how I got into Dan Co was the concept of not niching down because you are the niche. That was how I got into his content. And why I still consume his content is because he's done a very successful job of that, of just you are the niche, and that's how he's made a business out of it. And his branding is on point and consistent. So he is someone that I am interested in learning from, and why I use this opportunity to go ahead and learn from his content. So, okay, we're back from the ad. Here we go.
That haven't experienced the problems they're trying to solve. Most people don't understand that they belong to a very specific niche. You already follow a broad number of people that talk about a variety of different interests, and that's what's created your current personality or identity, because your personality or identity are created by the information that you're repeatedly exposed to and that you deem important and worth accepting into your mind. So this is mistake number 1 when creating your niche. If your job is to target a specific person and you are a specific person, why are you narrowing in on one specific interest that you want to sell a product or service around? Do you not have more than one interest? Do you not already follow people that talk about their opinions, their values, their lifestyle, and their expertise? No.
Now, and that's why I have tried to just keep a list of all of the things that I would like to talk about in being the niche. Like right now, where I'm in my life right now, the things I am focused on are discipline as an act of self-love, and really, really driving that home for myself, because it's changing a lot of things in my life right now. As far as I generally don't have a problem accomplishing my goals. But what has been the problem, I would say, is like making my goals big enough to scare me. I would say that's been a problem, because I built a life that's pretty awesome. I'm sure other people would want to do some of the same things, in terms of like I 5x'd my salary in the last few years, not 1x, 5x. I started. So one thing with the solo travel, I find that surprising, that a lot of people are like, oh, I would never. And I'm like, really? But don't you want to go places? And if you want to go somewhere and there's no one else to go with but you, are you going to let that stop you? Like, I can't. I got to go then. So I realized that can be a part of the niche, that not everybody's interested in solo travel or willing to do solo travel. So just watching other people do it is unique to them and interesting to them. And the other thing I'm in the process of doing right now is just romanticizing literally everything in my life. So I want to use that as a thing I make about content. Like, have you ever seen a perfume commercial? That's what I want my life to feel like. And that's the life I'm trying to curate. Let me show you an example of what I mean. On, how perfume commercials, they have an aspirational vibe that they tell this. That's the story that they tell, and like, you could be this beautiful, glamorous, and rich too if you wear this perfume. That's really what they're selling, and that's that's what I want to curate in my life. There was one recently that it's the Natalie. Is it a Natalie Portman one? Where it's like, I don't know. I think she's in like a villa in Italy, and there's like all these florals, and yeah, it's Dior. Dior ads are just always the best. Like this one's 11 years old. I know it feels like I'm getting on track, but I'm really not off track. This is on track, and that like Dan Cook said, you are the niche, right? So there's no need to try to filter what you're trying to share. Okay, but look at this perfume ad, and you'll see what I mean about the vibes and what perfume commercials are like. My point is, look how well they tell a story in like 48 seconds in a perfume commercial. Like it's just perfume commercials are where it's at. So that's I don't necessarily know that talking about one thing is going to make you known as the expert. As far as the goal of getting people to know, like, and trust. Yeah, I don't know where the perfume commercial came from, Don. But as far as getting the goal of getting people to know, like, and trust you, right? You're probably going to get more people to know you if you share more of yourself in terms of your interest.
Talking about one specific skill or interest won't make you more authoritative. No, people won't trust you more. At best, you'll look like a glorified search engine of actionable advice. So that's one major difference between building an audience before and having like a way to target actual people with something like paid ads and social media.
I love that phrase. It's not about clickbait. It's about click value. What is the value in this click? Because otherwise, why is someone going to do it? Our time is absolutely precious. And so if you want someone to give you their precious time and consume your content, you've got to be adding some sort of value for them. And that might be just entertainment, but that could be educational. But that's why I say, yeah, the perfume ads, because inspirational is also a value add in that it gives people something to, let's see. I don't want to say hope for, because it's like, and why I like talking about how Dan says, like I've always felt this about life as a game. It's not even like hope for. It's like it gives people something to understand. Like if that's what you want, girl, go get it. It could be yours too. So I guess that is still hope for. But anyway, that's now, Dawn, if I ever actually, when I finally, not if I ever finish editing this vlog, when I finally finish editing this vlog that was supposed to be a weekly vlog and has now turned into a monthly vlog, when I finally post it, you can tell me if it's giving perfume ad vibes. That's what I'll be looking for in the comments, specifically from you, feedback from you.
Media is that social media, you don't really control where your content goes. It's placed in front of people at random.
Okay, now that's another thing right now that I am struggling with about how you don't control where your content goes. Now, if you've been watching any of my videos about the journey to monetization and looking at what is at the analytics, I went on a deeper dive today into my analytics, and some of the videos that are recommending my content. Okay. I realize that try on hauls of any kind apparently put you in an algorithm that is what the actual F. Okay. I don't know how I'm getting recommended by I don't know what part of the game this is. Hold on. Let me pull up this YouTube studio and show you what I mean. It's got me, and I had to personally try to decide, like, I don't know how I feel about this, because I'm like, I try on hauls get better views, right? But I can't control where it's gonna go. Um Ooh, tell me more in the chat about your next video, Dawn, that you're excited about. Now, here, I'm going to share with you all what I mean. Lord. Because I wanted to know how my videos were being recommended. Where was that? It goes in content, and is it impressions? Where's that stuff at? I could have sworn it's an audience. Where does that? Let me see. I'll find it in a minute. Yes, I feel you, Dawn. There's some things about that too that it's like, hey, I don't care if this gets no views. I enjoy creating the content. I like it. It was worth it. But let me just show you the analytics. It's got to be an audience. Of course, now I don't know where to find this thing, but it's in impressions. How viewers find you. That's what it was. Suggested videos. Okay, here we go. Let me leave this click value thing up here. So I go into suggested videos to see. I'm looking at it like, oh, wow, I got 41,000 impressions for those. So I want to get suggested, right? That'll help me get more views. And it led to 5.7 watch time hours. That's 13% of my watch time hours. So I go in the suggested videos to see what are the suggested videos that are suggesting me. And Lord Jesus, it's a fire. What the world is this? Okay? And that's what's giving me impressions. What? And I'm like, I can't control where this is going. I don't want to be associated with these things. But then when there's this one, like, oh, okay, well, yes, I want to be recommended that video. I don't want to be recommended on transparent try on hauls with Angie. And now that further explains why when I go into my audience and it's telling me, where is it at here? And it's telling me, I've been trying to figure out why 64.5% of my viewers are allegedly male. Oh, okay. Well, now I know why. That's not who I'm creating content for, YouTube. But all of that to say, back to what Dan said, you can't control, what's the phrase? Here we go. Yeah, you can't.
Social media, you don't really control where
you don't really control where your content goes. Okay. And so if you're going to put yourself out here on the interwebs, unfortunately, you're going to have to be okay with that. That's one of the lessons I have learned in this in this journey. But let's see. I don't know where else this video goes. Let's see what else Dan talks about, because again, like I said, I'm consuming this here so I don't feel bad about consuming the content. I'm going to consume all the content. But one thing that's different now about what I've ever done before is I'm actually putting some of these things into action, not just listening to Dan's words. Now, why won't it let me click on the chapters here? Because I like that. Chapters are lovely. Okay. Oh, here are the chapters. So you are the niche. Most profitable niche is you. Goals, problems, potential paths. Section 1, the philosophy, education, practice, psychology. Okay, so I'll probably go back to this. The way I've been working on continuing to refine what are my content pillars, because if I am the niche, though, what are the things that, one, give me a unique advantage, and two, are the pieces of content that I want to talk about. And I, as much as I love the YouTube, I don't necessarily want to. Tags don't mean shit on. They say they do, but they don't. They don't actually on YouTube. Um, it does for the SEO outside of it, but I don't think, at least in my experience so far, I don't believe it really helps with the search. And when you say maybe retag, I ain't tagging. It's nothing but clothing hauls. It's not like I got it tagged as transparent clothing hauls. So I don't know. Maybe I'm missing what you are suggesting I tag it at, retag it as. So yes, definitely share that in the chat if you have a recommendation that is something you think I am missing from right here, because I don't usually put a lot even of them in there because of they don't seem to yet make a difference. I don't know. I'm working. Maybe that's another thing I'll test out in the next challenge that I try and experiment to learn how the algorithm works. I mean, the other thing about YouTube algorithm is it also changes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The tags that are already in there are tags that are for what it should be for. And if I go, let me just go look at those. I'm pretty sure if I go look at those videos, they are also tagged for things like clothing hauls. Let me just go look. What did it say? Because where did that thing go? I'm gonna see. I would think that that is partially how they also get shared. Now I really don't. Like, I hope that clicking on the one doesn't necessarily then tell my algorithm. Yeah, because that's what I'm like, Dawn, you know I didn't put that in there. Like, ma'am, what are you talking about? Hold on. Let's get into these analytics. I'm crying. Okay, so we were in seeing where stuff gets recommended, how viewers are finding you, suggested videos. All right, so we're climbing in there. We're going to see more. Inside the suggested videos, we're coming in here, and we're going to start with the number one that's suggesting me, Miss Joselina's body positivity, embracing her curves. Let me share her tab instead. Oh my God. Pause because no Diddy. Oh my God. Dawn, this is all your fault. But girl, do you see the tags? I just want you to see this is what the videos are tagged as: plus size fashion, plus size positive journey. I don't even put plus size fashion in mine. I don't put plus size or positive journey as tags I'm using because, one, I'm not plus size, and two, I don't use positive journey anywhere. Now, yeah, I don't see any reason why my video would get recommended in that other than people are pervs, and so is the YouTube algorithm. Oh yeah, I'm definitely you. You're the one that told me to dive deeper, so I'm definitely blaming you on the what the f is this when I click on this video. Let's see another one. Okay, let's find another one. Let me click on it first to see what the f is about to come up before. All right, this is the next one that has these the transparent in the title. I know they lying. First of all, this humans going human. I swear, poor God. Because what the world? They gonna have the nerve to put this disclaimer up that says the purpose of this video is just to show the clothing. It's not meant to be corn. But I'm telling you, Dawn, the fact that it says try on haul right here is what is making this happen. Okay? Because if I go down to her keywords, there are none. No keywords being used whatsoever. But apparently there's a lot of, so I'm telling you, I don't know. Bottom line is this. Even if I add them, it still goes back to what Dan said. You can't control, with social media, you can't control where your content goes. You can't control who's consuming you or why they are consuming you. And so while we try to add click value, you might have an intention on what that value should be. That doesn't mean it's going to be the value that the audience chooses. That's a child. That makes me want to get. Let me log off the internet now. I'm just gonna log off the internet right now, okay? Because I am done for the day. Because I do like try-on hauls. I don't want that to make me not want to do try-on hauls. So yeah, I don't know. That's all I got. That's what I got for today and doing a video every day in August. I will hopefully use what I learned from said Danco video about being the niche to continue to finish this challenge of a video every day in August. I wanted to give up because it's hard. Woo, daily content is hard, okay? And I am still going to try to do Vlogtober, but I'm just going to use all the things that I have learned from these challenges so far to make sure that Vlogtober is easier to do, which means part of that means I got to start getting some content now that I will release at later dates in October to be able to actually keep up with that kind of daily content. It is a grueling feat for sure. But as Dawn mentioned earlier, even if it only gets 2 views, you gotta love this shit for it to be worth it. And I do really enjoy the YouTube, so I'm gonna keep at it. And for now, I want to push through to upload some sort of video or live every day in August. So I'll be back tomorrow with something. I don't know what that something is right now because I have failed at the planning, but what I will do is complete it. Okay. That's all I got. That's the live. And one thing I will say is if no one else told you today, you are more than enough. And I love you. Hope you have a good night and I'll see you tomorrow.